Hi friends, this is Bilal Haider, and after a very long time I'm starting a new video series in here. This time we are starting to learn Ruby programming. This is my first video and I'm just showing you how to set up a development environment for Ruby programming on Ubuntu Linux. Alright. If you want to do it on Windows or Mac, you need to follow some other guide which helps you install set up the development environment for your operating system. Okay, but I will use Ubuntu because I think if you are learning Ruby, then you should use Ubuntu. That's because when you will deploy your applications, you will be most probably deploying it on a Linux machine. So if you are doing it, if you are learning the whole thing in Ubuntu, then it will be better for you. Alright, so let's start installing the Ruby development environment. I have listed these 4 steps in here which you need to follow, and these are just very simple steps. The first thing is you need to do sudo apt update and type in your password. Wait for 1 or 2 minutes and install, and it will finish installing. Then run sudo apt upgrade, and that's all. Copy all of these dependencies from here and install them. I have already installed them, so I don't need to reinstall them because they are already installed on my system. The next thing which we are doing, we are installing Ruby via Rvm. Okay, so we need to install Rvm, and that Rvm will, using Rvm we can later on change versions of Ruby. Okay, so let's do this. These are very simple 4 steps. If you follow along, it's not a difficult thing. Alright, so now what it's doing, basically it's downloading Rvm. Rvm, I think it is Ruby version manager, and using Rvm, if we later wanted to use some other version of Ruby, like currently we are getting Ruby 2.5.0, but for some reason if we wanted to use some other version of Ruby, then we can use Rvm to change the Ruby version or download another Ruby version and install it. So it's not a difficult thing. Just copy paste the commands and it will do its job. Alright, so it's completed. By running this command, actually we also installed Rails. Okay, that is something which we will do after like 60 video tutorials or maybe 70 video tutorials. We will focus on basics of Ruby language. Okay, we will learn all the basics. We will make about 60 or 70 videos about that, and then we will move on to learning Rails. So let's do this. This is not a necessary step, but let's do it. This is finally sourcing the Rvm, and now we can just tell Rvm to use 2.5.0 version of Ruby, and that's it. Now clear Ruby -v or -v or -v, and you see it shows us that Ruby 2.5.0 is installed on the system. So this was pretty much very simple steps that you need to follow in order to install Ruby development environment on Linux operating system. The next thing which you also need to have is a code editor that should be your own choice. Personally, I am using Visual Studio Code, and I think that is what you also should use. Alright, it is open source and it is very cool. So get a code editor, install the set up the Ruby development environment, and I see you in next video part. See you, bye.